Joe, look. I show you. I'm not interested because of the turtle. Look. See it?
Those are the pink backed pelicans. And they get their name from a very slight pink coloring on their back. That is only going to get darker during mating season. And at one point the ducks get it from their migration.
A lot of times.
Here we have a demonstration of the effect. If an elephant was to approach this farm, he's going to hit the wire, and the bees come out and really disturb the elephant, either stinging him.
Jumbo, everyone, and welcome to Come
Together, keep up with the party in front of you and filling all the available space. Thank you for touring with Kilimanjaro. When it comes to safaris, we go wild.
Jumbo, everyone.
Joe, look. I show you. I'm not interested because of the turtle. Look. See it?
Today is Twin Day, which means let's go. Well, Jumbo, everyone. My name is Cameron, and I'm going to be your safari guide here today on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And there are just a couple things that we do have to go over before we get started. And that is just to please remain seated the entire time, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle as well. Now that doesn't lighter color antelope there. That one is the greater kudu. There's going to be some more coming up on your left. And then over on your left, the darker one with the horns. That one is the bongo. Now the bongos are typically very good at camouflage, and they will be given the nickname as the ghost oak. The greater kudu are the second largest antelope in the reserve, as they range about 5.5 feet to their shoulders. And with them, only the males have horns. Over on your right, sort of in the water there. Those are the pink backed pelicans. And they get their name from a very slight pink coloring on their back. That is only going to get darker during mating season. And then on your left are some hippos. Now those are the Nile hippopotamus. Right. That is one of my personal favorite animals. Now that is the okapi. And do not let its zebra stripes fool you, because the okapi is going to be the closest known relative and the only known relative to the giraffe. That's going to be with its skeletal structure, as well as its prehensile tongue. You see on your right that pretty tall bird standing there? That is a saddle-billed stork. And if they were to stand up all the way, they could be just about 5 feet tall. And they don't have any vocal cords, so they will just rattle their beaks for communication. But it's actually incredibly important. So that is a baobab tree, and it's only going to have leaves for up to 3 months out of the entire year. But with that, it is going to be an incredible water source for most, if not for all of the animals on the savannah. And because it truly does help out with saving lives, it's given several nicknames, including the upside down tree, as it kind of looks like it was put in upside down. But also the tree of life. And if that one sounds familiar, tiring them, try to recycle them or donate them, and it'll actually help out way more than you think. But I do spot over on your left, there's a very tiny antelope there. It's kind of on the hill at the bottom, just a little speck of brown color that hopefully you can see. But that is the springbok, and it's fully grown, about 3 feet to its shoulders. But they are incredible jumpers. They can jump about 6 feet high and 13 feet wide. And so if that tiny antelope wanted to, it could clear straight through this entire truck. But on your right, off in the distance, there's some wildebeest. And a group of wildebeest found together is called confusion because they actually tend to run blind. So they're not really going to be looking where they go half the time, which kind of makes them look a little bit confused. But wildebeest are very migratory animals. They're going to travel into herds up to 1 million. And at one point, the ducks get it from their migration could be seen. So we're actually going to hang out here for a second. We get to look at all these wildebeest. If you have been to Disney before, been to Hollywood Studios, and rode Rock and Roller Coaster, cheetahs can actually run a little bit faster than the initial takeoff of that ride. Which is crazy fast if anyone's ever rode it. And coming up also on your left is a really big rock formation where larger predators do like to hang out. But they are normally going to be more active at night, so we'll just have to see if we can spot one. The animals in here are going to be incredibly migratory, which in return makes them incredibly unpredictable. So we'll just have to see what we can spot. I do think, if you look in front of us on your right, there's an animal with some really big horns. Now we'll see more as we make our way along, but that is the Ankole cattle. And it is going to be one of the only domesticated animals on the reserve. As in Africa, it was found in a tribe that would use them as a symbol of wealth. So the more of them you had, the wealthier you were. And their horns look really big and scary, but they're actually going to be incredibly light. They are made up of a honeycomb-like material that just helps out with temperature regulation throughout their bodies. But it looks like the rest of the animals might be on the other side of the savannah.